Good morning, everybody, or good evening, depending on when you are watching this. I haven't done this in a while. I still feel a little bit weird. So today, I'm a little bit behind when I wanted to do this video, but I'm doing it anyway because I really was looking forward to doing this. I've seen a lot of videos talking about the new top 100, new top 1000, the new top 10 especially, as far as baby names are concerned. But what I haven't really seen videos about, although I may have missed them and feel free to link me to them if you know of one offhand, is the difference between the US top 10 and the Canadian top 10. And I have lived in both countries, so that's always something that interests me, is the differences between the two. So today what I want to do is I want to go over the top 10 names for boys and girls in the United States and compare them to the top 10 names for boys and girls in Canada. I'm not going to talk about each name for too long because really this is just a comparison video, but if you're interested in the meanings of names and such, you can always let me know in the comments and I'll make sure I include them going forward. So the number one name for boys in the United States this year was Liam. Liam is a cute name, but it is not the number one name in Canada. The number one boy's name in Canada is Noah. And as far as the number two spots are concerned, you literally just have to swap the names. Noah made number two in the States and Liam was number two in Canada. So we were pretty similar in that regard, weren't we? The number three name in the United States is William. A very strong classic. While the number three name in Canada was Jackson. An interesting note here is that Jackson isn't actually on the top 10 for the United States at all. It's actually way down at number 20. So I wrote it very small and wanted to make sure I said the right number. But Jackson's all the way down at number 20 in the United States, but we still have it at number 3. Moving right along though, number 4. The fourth boy's name in the United States is James, another strong classic name. While the number 4 name in Canada was Lucas. Also not in the United States top 10, it sits at number 11. Just outside that top 10. So it's popular in the United States as well, just not nearly as. The number 5 name for both the United States and Canada was Logan. We both really love the name. I wonder why. And the number 6 name, interestingly enough, is also the same in both countries, and that is Benjamin. Another strong classic, and we've been seeing a lot more pop culture references to Benjamin, so I think that that might have something to do with it. Number 7 in the United States is Mason, and Mason has not landed a spot in the Canadian top 10. I mean, we've already gone through 2 names on the Canadian top 10 that weren't on the American, so it makes sense that some names on the American list aren't on ours. Mason is actually number 17 here in Canada, and while the Canadian number 7 name is Jacob. Number 8 in the United States is Elijah, which claims the 45th place in Canada, while our 8th place name is William. Number 9 for both the United States and Canada was Oliver. We like Oliver. And number 10, both J names, but they are different. In the United States, there's Jacob, while in Canada, we have James. And those are the top 10 boys' names and the differences between the two really quickly. And I'd love to hear what you think of them and why you think those differences occur. But I'm not going to dwell on my opinion on them right now because I have to talk about the girls' names. The number 1 name in the United States for baby girls this year was Emma. Such a beautiful name. While the number 1 name for girls in Canada was Olivia, also gorgeous. And just like with the boys' names, to get your second place names, you just have to swap them. The United States had Olivia as their number 2, while Canada had Emma. For number 3, the United States holds Ava, Meanwhile, Canada has shown Charlotte to be its third choice. Number 4 is where, to me, things get a little bit interesting, because the number 4 name in the United States is Isabella, which doesn't hold a spot in the Canadian top 10 at all. It's actually at number 12, just outside, which means we'll have at least one baby girl name in Canada that doesn't make the American top 10. To me, that's just interesting. I like seeing those little differences. But the number 4 name in Canada is Sophia, which Americans have as their number 5 name. Meanwhile, in Canada, our number 5 name is Aria, which proudly holds the number 20 spot in the United States. We apparently much prefer Aria to the Americans right now, although I'm pretty sure that next year we'll see Aria much higher on the American list. Number 6 in the United States is Mia, which also is not in the Canadian top 10. It holds number 18, while our number 6 name is Ava. Number 7, both countries chose a C name, although which C name it is differs. In America, or the United States, they use Charlotte enough times to place it at number 7. Keep in mind that in Canada that was the number 3 name. While in Canada, we apparently really love the name Chloe, which is not in the American top 10 at all, but it is fairly high at number 22. The 8th most popular name in the United States is Amelia, while in Canada it's Zoe, which also isn't in the American top 10. It's actually number 29. So popular, but not quite as popular. Number 9 in the United States is Evelyn. It's a beautiful name. Not in the Canadian top 10 though. It's actually number 25. Meanwhile, the Canadians have chosen Abigail as the number 9th most popular name. And finally, the 10th most popular name. Different in both countries, but both starting with an A. In the United States, it is Abigail, the number 9 name in Canada. While in Canada, we have Amelia, which is the number 8 name in the United States. So there's more variation in our girls' names than our boys' names, but there are variations in both. And I think that that's kind of important to consider, just like how the popularity lists might be different, well, might be, they are a little different, depending on which state or which province you are in. Just because you are close to Canada if you're in one of those states, or you are close to the Americans, depending on which province and wherein you live, you don't necessarily have to look at both. I personally find that really interesting, and if a name is high in both, you know you're going to hear a lot of them. But it's also not fair to say that by looking at the American list, you'll know what's popular in Canada. They are quite different in some regards. But I'd love to hear your thoughts on why some names got so popular and why those differences occur. Why do Canadians like Chloe and Zoe so much? Do we just like the OE sound? Oh, Chloe, Zoe.
Oh, Chloe, Zoe.
I can't think of a third one. Really should have thought of that joke before I started filming. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on the top 10s and the differences between them and why that might be. But almost more interesting than that is the exact similarities when the same name is in the same place in both countries, like Logan and Benjamin. And it didn't happen at all for the girls' names, but Logan, Benjamin, and Oliver all hold the exact same popularity ranking in both Canada and the United States. Almost like we planned it or something, but to my knowledge, nobody planned that. But anyway guys, I hope you have a great day. I have to get ready for work, so I will talk to you all later. Bye!